Coming up, we take a look at a Sioux Falls murder suspect's recent criminal history.
Plus, the advice a psychiatrist has about approaching hesitant family and friends about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. Good morning, this is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day. A Sioux Falls murder suspect got out of jail just days before the deadly shooting. Officers arrested Asher Parks last Thursday in this central Sioux Falls neighborhood. Police say he was breaking car windows with a wooden dowel. When the dowel broke, police say he threatened to stab a man and chased him with it. In that case, Parks went to jail on Thursday and was released on a PR bond on Friday. That was a little more than 3 days before the murder. A Sioux Falls psychiatrist says trying to convince someone to get vaccinated after they've already made up their mind is very hard. Dr. Matthew Stanley with Avera Health believes the internet is full of false information about the pandemic and the vaccines. He says as a doctor, he believes the vaccines are proven to be safe and effective. However, convincing people who don't trust the vaccines will take more than one conversation.
Yeah, I would say one of the most important things in my job as a psychiatrist would be similar in my job as a dad, is to try to keep dialogue ongoing, because you rarely move someone in a single conversation. When it comes to getting vaccinated, Dr. Stanley encourages people to avoid getting their information from the internet. Instead, he said people should ask someone in their lives they trust. A free COVID-19 vaccine clinic is returning to the Empire Mall in Sioux Falls. The shots will be available today through Saturday at the JCPenney entrance. Officials will be using the Moderna vaccine. You do not need an ID, appointment, or insurance. Each person vaccinated will also receive $15 after each shot. A vaccine clinic last month at the mall helped more than 100 people get the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Turning to weather now, so much needed rain fell in the area of KELOLAND last night. Let's send it over to meteorologist Scott Munt for a check of our current conditions. Scott?
All right, good morning, you two. Good morning, everybody. We are looking at another round of showers and thunderstorms in the western South Dakota, probably later this afternoon and into this evening. We'll see what holds together as these storms eventually move into central KELOLAND tonight and for early tomorrow morning. And then things may redevelop during the late morning or early afternoon in eastern South Dakota for tomorrow. Now, that will eventually help bring in some cooler and drier air for this weekend. Looks like we'll have afternoon highs falling to the 70s for some of us both Saturday and Sunday. And Brian will have more details on your forecast coming up.
Thank you, Scott. Many students in KELOLAND are already heading back to school. Today is the first day of school for kids in the Harrisburg School District. That means this area near Endeavor Elementary will be busy with students and parents heading to school. The principal here says they sent out reminders to parents about school zones and other safety tips ahead of the start of the school year.
Our number one motto is to make sure that the safety of the students. So we're constantly watching, and myself or my cross guards will actually yell at people to slow down just for the safety of the students.
The speed limit in a school zone is 15 miles an hour. It's also important to pay attention to people using crosswalks. There's still some time to take in some summer fun, including at the Turner County Fair. The 4-day event comes to a close tonight. Fair lovers are happy it's back after it was canceled because of the pandemic last year.
They call it the 4 best days of summer. It's my favorite week of the year. I love being here.
The 4-H event did go on last year, but they were under COVID restrictions. That is a look at some of our top stories. Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right. Well, the rain chance is back. Let's take a look at a couple of comparing model number one. This is the European model. So as we reference this, what we're going to see is, again, where thunderstorms are able to develop, we have sufficient moisture that we're probably going to see some embedded areas over an inch. Now, remember that the model is going to try to paint where it thinks the best shot of rain will be, but the placement is still under some consideration here. So, for example, that 2.8 in Mobridge could be overdone, but there could be some spots in north central South Dakota easily over a couple of inches of rain, which is a very significant story. Now, model number two, I'll show you this just to kind of give you an idea of how some of these things space out maybe a little more especially in the drought year. I want to consider that. So we always approach these forecasts a little bit more cautiously as a result of that. However, we still have the same idea. We're going to pop some of these numbers over a ½ inch of rain, and individual storm tracks will even be over an inch. Now, the latest here on FUTURECAST, it's doing a good job of picking up on that morning rain out towards Spearfish. Let's regroup this afternoon, 2, 3, 4 in the afternoon. We're looking at storm lines here, far western South Dakota. That should move east through Pierre by about 10 or 11 o'clock tonight. So ahead of that, evening storms in the southwest could become severe in spots. Then the line has a tendency to kind of break up as it heads toward the James Valley. That was our thinking yesterday. That's still the thinking today. But some of the rain could make it to Sioux Falls by daybreak. Then the next challenge will be how much of that leftover rain in the morning would contaminate our recharging ability on these temperatures before the next round tries to break loose in the afternoon. Again, the more of a separation we have between the two rounds of storms, the better the odds that the afternoon rain would have some embedded severe weather. We think it'll rain. It's just a matter of how much of that's actually going to turn severe or not. So stay tuned. We'll have updates on that forthcoming later today as we're able to sort out a little more information on that. Whole thing is clearing fast Friday evening. I think we're off to some clearing skies here Saturday morning. We're going to have a brisk northwest wind on Saturday and highs in the 70s. So say goodbye to the 90s. But they're here today again, 91 today, Sioux Falls. 70s, they're on that 7-day, both Saturday and Sunday. And then we have a new round of storms on Sunday. We're going to talk more about that later today. That could feature some severe weather East River again. And there could be another system heading our direction by next Tuesday or Wednesday. So it's adding up to some encouraging news. We're finally starting to pull some rain into the forecast. That's also true in Pierre as we see temperatures climbing back to 90 next week, but not as hot as what we've seen this week. And also Rapid City, big cool down tomorrow, 69 for a high. Check out our Storm Center update. We have a lot of good information there that you'll need to check out, and more updates throughout the day. Stay tuned.